Love him or hate him, Audley Harrison is back in the Prizefighter International Heavyweight Final. But who will he meet? Will he face this man, the inexperienced Ian Lewison of Brixton, in only his 9th fight, who won his fight in the very first round of the quarter-final? Terrific performance. Or another surprise winner from New York, DERRIC ROSSY, who beat the favourite, Travis Walker. Let's find out who makes the final from this semi-final with John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Who will join A-Force in the final? We are about to find out. As Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sport proudly presents the Betfair International Prizefighter in the heavyweight division, semi-final number 2. Introducing to you, firstly, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks trimmed with white, weighing in at 16 stone, 12 pounds, 32 fight record, 27 wins, 14 inside the scheduled distance, and just 5 defeats. From Brooklyn, New York City, USA, it's DERRIC ROSSY. And ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with white, weighing in at 18 stone and 3 pounds with a 9 fight record, 7 wins, 4 inside the scheduled distance, 1 loss, 1 draw. From Brixton, lay them out, Ian Lewison. Time to the bell is Nick White, and our referee in charge of the action is Marcus McDonald, and this is 3-minute round semi-final number 2.
Right, boys, I spoke about interesting. Not expect out of professors at all times. Obey my instructions. Watch your heads, keep it clean. Any questions? Let's go to work.
These two fellas took a very different route through to this semi-final. Ian Lewison here, the 31-year-old, the youngest man of the group, came out throwing bombs against Timo Hoffman and scored the first round stoppage. Whereas in contrast, DERRIC ROSSY over in the other corner kind of fiddled and fudged his way through to victory, ending up getting a split decision. Let's see if he'll carry on with that approach. And let's see if Ian Lewison carries on looking to lay him out. As he's working that new nickname of his, he certainly laid out Hoffman, who is probably still complaining somewhere that he was stopped prematurely. And Lewison looking to go to work. There's no question that Lewison seems to be improving rapidly. His best win was his last fight prior to this evening, when he stopped the previously unbeaten Dorian Darch. And the Hoffman win, clearly his best ever. And he's unloading here for DERRIC ROSSY. Not everything getting through cleanly. Big cheers, but ROSSY taking full evasive action, Jim.
I think the trick with ROSSY is that you don't get too close, because, you know, he slips and he slides and he can get out of your view. You have to keep him in front of you, give yourself a little bit of room, and I think Lewis is trying to do that at the moment. He showed little feints against slippery guys. You want to feint before you go to work, force them into making the first move. This is good, cool stuff from Lewis, considering his lack of experience. That's good. Just pick your time to let the punches go and don't become frustrated. Like that.
Yeah, that was a real shocker from Lewison, showing all his inexperience there. But ROSSY not able to capitalise.
He's landing the jab, Lewison, which is good. Now that's good. Cause this fellow to lead off, because he's not really that comfortable leading off. Good cool head. Lewison is doing okay here. Get the jab again.
First in with the jab, which comes up pretty fast from that low left hand of his. ROSSY trying to get the jab to work. That was a weapon for him in his victory against Travis Walker. Decent body shot coming in from the New Yorker. And Lewison doing a nice job of blocking a lot of these. That jab got through, the last one.
So we need to see a bit more of that feint before he goes to work. Just get this fellow to move first of all, and then let the punches go. He's slippery. He's taking too long to get the punches off there, Lewison.
Yeah, and that'll let ROSSY attack the body and score with 2 or 3 decent punches. Lewison seems to be slowing down a little bit here after that fast start, the last 20 seconds of the first round. Right hand to the body.
And Rossi's the one who didn't get an awful lot of notice for this, and he hasn't boxed for a year, so you would think a good, strong pace from Lewison. Like Rossi should be the one to flag. Not a lot in the opening round here.
Lewison's done a nice defensive job. He's blocked well, he's covered up well.
Yeah, and produced some nice work of his own. Not much to split them in that opener.
And the really good news for Ian Lewison is he didn't allow DERRIC ROSSY to pinch the round with his jab like he did against Travis Walker in the quarterfinal. The Rossi jab, not much of a factor in the opening 3 minutes.
He'll lean in and slip it.
No, I think Lewison kept a cool head for most of that. His jab was working okay. He took some punches along the way. He let go with some wild swings here and there. But he certainly did a far better job than Rossi's previous opponent tonight did. Kept nice and cool. He just wants a couple of more feints before he goes to work. Now that's the jab that was working quite well for Lewison in the opening round. Accurate, solid.
Seconds out, round 2.
Round 2 of this second semi-final. Audley Harrison, in case you've just joined us, awaits in the final, having disposed of Klaus Bertino inside 30 seconds, and then a very entertaining semi-final victory over Martin Rogan, who's going to join Big Audley in the final. Fast start once again from Lewison, who's shaking him up, and blood from the nose from DERRIC ROSSY. There was some power there from the younger man.
Yeah, I think he's brought blood from the nose. I wonder if Rossi's been sent out to show a bit more aggression, but this is suiting Lewison. Nice and tight, good defence, good.
And that nose looks really bad. Lewison's hit him again with a left hook. And there it is again, and he's having a lot of success with left hands there, and then follows up with the right hand. Missed with the left, got him with the right. And Rossi's taking some punishment here.
Lewison has dragged him into the kind of fight that he doesn't like, and he's not coping with it too well, and you can see the way he's breathing with his mouth open. I don't think Rossi has an awful lot left. Lewison wants to keep this pace going.
A lot of blood coming from the nose. Lewison stalks forward. He put a lot into that last assault. Maybe he's just regrouping a little bit here. He's letting Rossi just tee off first as he looks for his openings.
Yeah, I think Lewison's maybe blowing a little bit, as you say. A good shot.
Right,
good shot.
Getting through, picked his shots well, showing some maturity here, picking his shots, not just bombs away stuff. And Rossi in full survival mode now. That was nothing in response. He's got his man pinned in the corner, but Lewison has covered up well, and Rossi can't get through the guard.
Those were just arm punches from Rossi, no snap whatsoever.
But if Rossi was wilting, oh, that's a nice right uppercut. Yeah, that's a decent shot from Rossi, but Lewison has just shrugged him off as if to say, that didn't bother me at all. Nice little left-hand counter from Lewison again. He's had some real success. Great combination upstairs, opening him up again, and Rossi is taking a lot of heat here. Both of them really going for it.
That was a terrific attack from Lewison there. He just stayed in there that little bit longer. He was the one prepared to take the pain and keep throwing the punches. He's sagging now on the ropes there. Rossi still digging in though. Lewison looks in the driving seat at the moment. Good jab.
Picked him off again with that jab. It's a hurtful punch. Rossi tries to find something. Doesn't seem to have an awful lot of power. Not the kind of power to trouble Lewison. But trying to rally here.
A lot of good work has come from Lewison in this round. This has been good stuff. I think he's knocked a lot out of Rossi. Full credit to Rossi coming in at short notice, putting up a show. That was a good round for Lewison.
It certainly was. You could make a case either way in the first round. This second round was all about Ian Lewison. He really unloaded, threw caution to the wind and went for it. And there were a couple of times you thought Rossi was ready to go.
Yeah, in the exchanges you can see Lewison was prepared to stay there that little bit longer, have the last word, and that's important in this kind of action. Rossi changed his style a little bit in that round. I think maybe he was sent out to be a little bit more aggressive, but I don't know that it was a good plan. The tricky stuff works for him. But he showed a lot of grit, took a lot of big shots there from Lewison, and stood his ground. This is good stuff.
Well, there's the stats.
10 seconds.
Rossi not doing much at all in that second round. Was landing 10.
Seconds
Lewison
out,
19.
third and last round.
Well, are we going to have an all-British final here? Audley Harrison awaits the winner. Can DERRIC ROSSY, the New Yorker in the red trunks, do anything to turn this one around after Ian Lewison dominated that second round and may have done enough to take the first round as well? Just catching him with the right hand there, Lewison. Well, I like the confidence and the maturity of Ian Lewison. He really is growing as this tournament progresses.
Yeah, and he's not fazed by what's coming back at him. OK, Rossi's not known as a big puncher, but he's landing cleanly at times. But Lewison is staying there with him. And as I say, having the last word, so important. Still boxing coolly. Rossi looks like he's flagging a little bit at the moment. Kind of arm punches.
As you said, Jim, a late entry to Prizefighter. Only got a week's notice. So is his lack of conditioning starting to be a factor here?
Yeah, well, that added to the fact he hasn't boxed for a year either. Oh, a good shot there from him.
Well, he's certainly giving it a go here, Rossi.
Rossi, let go. Step back, Rossi.
Working very hard, the American. And Lewison has certainly dropped the pace after really lighting it up in the second round. Hardly surprising. And now there's the jab from Rossi that we saw in the first fight.
So maybe a little bit of experience of Rossi showing itself now. He's been there a couple more times, obviously, than Lewison. Just finding a way to dig in.
And Lewison just looking a bit tired there. Oh, a low blow went in there. Marcus McDonald has let it go with just a little warning. A definite low blow from Lewison. Into the last minute. Lewison finds another right hand. Rossi absorbs it. Comes back with punches of his own, but they're both looking really tired here. And this is great news for Audley Harrison. He's resting up. These two fellas both look out on their feet.
Yeah, but Rossi is doing well here. You know, Rossi is the one who's just managing to dig in. As I say, I don't know if it's a bit more experience. He's been here before. But Lewison doesn't have the same grip on the fight that he had in the previous round, so this may well hinge on the opening round, which, as you've said earlier, could have gone either way. I preferred Lewison's work to Rossi's, but this is nip and tuck now.
Yes, Lewison was certainly faded after that second round. And you've got to give DERRIC ROSSY an awful lot of credit. Came back so well, the American. And this one will go to the cards. That was a good little scrap, Jim.
Yeah, that was terrific. That was non-stop action for the 3 rounds. That's exactly what we expect to see in Prizefighter. That was terrific. But I tell you, full credit. I've got Ian Lewison going through but by a single point. I thought that he produced a better work in the opening round. But, I mean, actually, throughout the 3 rounds, I preferred his work. But good drive from Rossi in the 3rd round, which certainly tightened things up on my card. But I feel that Lewison deserves to go through. Hope he does, because I think it'll make a better final. But that's not what it's all about. We want the best man to win, the best man to go through. But I still feel that should be Ian Lewison.
And there's the stats that show that Lewison landed 36 to Rossi's 30. You saw 85% of our viewers saw Lewison winning, as did Jim. But it goes down to the 3 judges. John Keane, Terry O'Connor, Ian John Lewis. Good to see the 2 fellas embracing there. That was a good little tear-up. I must admit, Rossi really looked ready to go in that second round, but rallied so well. And Lewison, I'm sure, was glad to hear that final bell. And this is another one where we're taking our time compiling this one, not as long as that last one. We were here forever for that one. DERRIC Rossy prevailed that time, but is he going to be so fortunate this time? Is he going to get through to the final? Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, result of semi-final number 2. We have a split decision. Judge Ian John Lewis has scored this contest 29-28 in favour of Lewison. Judge Terry O'Connor scores this contest 29-28 in favour of Rossy, and John Keynes scores the contest 29-28 in favour of the winner and through to the final. From Brooklyn, New York City,
Rossy's pitched it. It all went on that first round,
Rossy,
which was open to interpretation. And that has deflated this audience. Jim, would you have any big complaint with that call?
No, you can't complain about it. I did say that it probably hinged on the opening round. I preferred Lewison's work in the opening round, but there was very little to split them. He definitely won the second, Rossy definitely won the third, so everything must have hinged on that opener. So 2 of the judges have seen it for Rossy. I can't complain about it. I can't complain about it. Feel sorry for Ian Lewison. I think he's been terrific tonight. But there you go.
Well, that's Prizefighter. Lewison will go out with his pride intact and with a decent paycheck as well, but it's DERRIC Rossy that goes through to the final, and doesn't he look delighted? He's with Ed.
Well, DERRIC, congratulations. How confident were you that you'd won that?
Oh, no, I mean, you got to be confident, but I know going against this opponent here, it's going to be really hard. He throws hard and he doesn't give up. I mean, that's what fighters do in there, and I hope we gave you guys a great show.
You had to take some big punches, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, as a heavyweights, we take some good shots, and with these shorter rounds, you tend to pile up the bigger shots a little earlier in the match than you want. But I like to think that I took them, and I gave as good as I got.
Still got the energy for 3 more?
Of course I do. That's what we're here for.
Audley Harrison in the final. What do you know about him? How are you going to beat him?
Oh, hey, I'm not going to let out any secrets, but I know Audley is a veteran. Very slick, tall, but once again, we just got to go and take it to him.
You'll have to attack.
Ooh. Oh, of course, of course. I mean, Audley loves boxing. I mean, that's what he is. So we got to kind of take that away from him, but even in the inside, he still knows what he's doing. So it's going to be a great fight.
Well done so far.
Well, our viewers then had Lewison the winner, but let's get the verdict of our boys here. What do you think?
I thought it was the right decision. I thought Rossy did enough to win. Definitely won the last round. It was just, you know what, now all of a sudden you can see Audley Harrison pulling through and then picking his gap, because Rossy's comfortable fighting up close. You know, that's how he fights. If you want to stand in front of him, you're giving a man a chance that hasn't got one. And I don't think Audley will do that.
He's got a terrific chin, Rossy, that's for sure. But did experience swing that fight?
I think it did. I think he just knew when to throw a few more punches. For me, the deciding round was the first round, which was very, very close. It really is how you sort of pick that first round. After that, it was definitely Lewis in the second and Rossy a third. But Rossy, so for me, he just nicked it by a fraction. But Lewison, you know, he's done very, very well. But now it's the final. It's Rossy, which I think suits Audley more, because Audley's, you know, you've never seen any real aggression from Rossy. And to beat Audley, you need aggression. You need to put him on the back foot. You need to scare him. And I don't think Rossy will.
Can I ask you this? I mean, Rossy has won both his contests, split points decision. But that was a really grueling fight, the hardest fight of the night, I would have thought, from the point of view that you've now got to have a short break and you're in the final against Audley.
Listen, like Lewison did, like Walker did, they thought this is the easiest of the opponents, so they stood there in front of him and tried to beat a win out of him. You've got to box a win out of him, because we saw him get some heavy shots from Lewison and walk through them, took the shots, dug in and tried to fight back. Don't fight in boxing, and that's what Audley Harrison does. The better fight would have been Harrison against Lewison.
But I'm talking about stamina here. This guy's used up a lot of energy.
He has. He's had 2 tough fights. Audley hasn't used up very much energy at all. But, you know, the point of the fight, you know, the matter is, Audley is going to box the way he boxes, on the back foot behind a long jab. Rossy